My dearest friends, big love and great grace on your heads. I'm speaking to you on a day in which the world is facing extreme danger. We're facing it obviously in the Middle East, where the war could become regional or global. We're facing it in Ukraine and Russia, where Putin has recently threatened to use nuclear weapons. And of course, we're facing it in America, in our politics, where Donald Trump still has an immense hold over a large part of the population. And the polls are showing that the race is going to be a very, very close one, and no one knows what is going to happen. I know from so many of you who have written to me and who speak to me how profoundly shaken you are. And I share that deep, deep grief and deep, deep sadness. But what I want to share with you is that in the middle of all of this suffering and difficulty and potential danger, the truth remains the truth. And the truth, as all of the mystical traditions have celebrated it, says with one voice, whatever happens, try and be love, radiating in whatever circumstances you find yourself and offering hope, joy, encouragement, love, compassion, deep, deep wisdom in whatever situations arise. This has always been the way of the lovers of God, and it has never been a more important time to take this way with all of our mind, all of our heart, and all of our embodied radiant body. Before I talk to you about Sublime Love and the course that I'm offering the great Australian mystic Kerrie Hide, I just want to read to you a poem that is extremely sacred to me and that I try to live by. And it's by my beloved Hadovich of Antwerp, the great beguine of the 13th century that I've spent three of my life, my years of my life, translating in Love is Everything. And I go back to this poem almost every day. No living human under the sun can satisfy love. Love is insatiable. Become yourself insatiable to serve love ever more abundantly with ever deeper nobility. And love will reveal itself as all and infinite. And your transformations in love will never end, either on earth or any known or unknown heaven. So whatever happens to the world, those of us who've had the grace to awaken to divine love have the responsibility now to plunge into its essence with the deepest, calmest, wisest, most discerning passion at our disposal. And if we do, as Hadovich and all the great mystical lovers of God know, if we do, we will not only realize the truth of our incarnation, we will enter a stream of what the Greek Orthodox mystics called epictasis, a stream of endless unfolding of limitless possibility of transformation in the depths and through the agency of that love that creates everything and lives in everything and has already redeemed us. A love like that, a love like this, can only be called sublime. And the course that I'm offering you is called Sublime Love for a purpose, for this purpose, to embolden us all, to risk our whole being in an adventure to heal and transform ourselves and all those we meet and connect with. And this course that I gave in Australia with a very great, hidden, humble, amazing mystic called Kerrie Hide, whose book, Love's Wanting, has taken over my life with its beauty and its directness and its inner knowledge. This course that I gave with her was celebration of both of our lifetime search to be authentic lovers of God. And in the time that we came together through Zoom, something absolutely amazing happened between us in our hearts and souls, which flowered in the series of humble and sacred transmissions that we were able to give. And it's these transmissions that I have now put into a collection called Sublime Love, which mirrors what we did over a marvelous weekend in Australia in April. And it is these transmissions that I want to offer you with a full heart, knowing that they will help you at this extreme moment more than any of my words or even Hadovich's words can possibly describe. I just want to tell you a little bit about how the meeting between Kerrie and I, which has transformed both of our lives in subtle ways, happened, and what this course, Sublime Love, offers you. I was in Ladakh last year, and a great friend of Kerrie's, in fact, the editor of her great book, Love's Wanting, which I beg you to read, it is so amazing, was on a trip with me, and she gave me Kerrie's book. And I spent a week after the trip had finished quietly in retreat in the ragged old hotel in Leh, and I read it 3 times, again and again and again, saturating myself in its holy wisdom. And that's the only way that I can describe the power of this book, because Kerrie has matured her vision in silence, in hiddenness, in anonymity, in humility for 30 years to be able to offer such a glowing vision to the world. And my heart and her heart met in that reading, in that savoring of what she is offering us. And then when I went to Australia in April, I had the honor of meeting her by Zoom and talking with her and building this course and giving this course, which was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I've done a lot of deep collaboration with the great sacred women of our time because, as many of you know, I'm a devotee of the Divine Mother. And as many of you also know, much of the greatest and most pioneering work is now being done by increasingly liberated and forceful and brilliant women who are claiming the full power of the divine feminine. What we did in those 2 extraordinary days was that we both melded our souls together, spoke out of our sacred intimacy about subjects that were deeply interrelated and deeply sacred to us. So I began by speaking out of my passion for Hadovich and really trying to make her extraordinary vision as naked and relevant to us at this moment as I could. And then Kerrie dived into her great passion among the medieval women mystics, Mechthild of Magdeburg, the great beguine who wrote the book with perhaps the greatest title ever, certainly the most demanding, The Flowing Light of the Godhead. And you may say, why would two modern people be so absorbed by the work of 13th century women mystics? Well, it's because those 13th century women mystics went through absolutely everything to come to the most resplendent and magnificent and grounded vision of what love is and what love can do. And my own experience of translating Hadovich and Kerrie's long absorption with Mechthild showed her how essential these women voices are for the return of the divine feminine in our time. And then on the second day, we turned to two sublime men who are both great evolutionary mystics, two modern men who lived out the full journey of evolutionary sublime love in our time. I spoke of Bede in a way that I have never spoken of my beloved teacher and my beloved before, because I felt so completely safe with Kerrie and with her very, very humble and wonderfully schooled audience that was listening, I knew, with heart, mind, soul, and body. And I have never gone as far as I did in this transmission about what Bede's vision, and now my vision through him, through grace, of the evolutionary potential of love to birth a new transfigured humanity out of the madness that is getting ever more terrible, but also ever more pregnant with unspeakable and as yet unknowable opportunities. And Kerrie followed what I had given with the most beautiful, lucid, passionate, fabulously illustrated vision of Teilhard de Chardin's great vision of the divinization of the universe through the love of the resurrection and the Christ consciousness. You don't have to be Christian to love both these two women and these two extraordinary men. All paths have similar truths, but in these four, the truths of sublime love have been not only lived out in the texture of their own lives, but magnificently and finally and with great humble authority explored in their amazing work. So what you will be getting is four gates into the sublime love that lives as the core of your essential self. And I cannot think of a moment in which that kind of initiation is more important for all of us. You'll also be getting an interview that I did with Kerrie to introduce her to my world and to all of you, because I know from my own inmost experience of her just what a level of truth, humility, radiance, this amazing woman, this beautiful, holy woman is. So there you have it. 9 hours, I think it is, of the purest transmission that both Kerrie and I separately and together can give. Transmission that I believe will help you tremendously at this moment. Stay calm, stay focused, stay evolving, stay pouring yourself out passionately in love, for love, as love, to help the human race in the very best way. I've priced it at $99 for 9 hours because I'm not about making money from this. I'm passionate to get Kerrie's work out and the work that she enabled me to do with her. And I'm passionate to get it out for all the reasons I've already said. And I'm passionate to offer this to you at a sum that I believe is honorable and I hope available for many of you. And if there are any of you that feel that you can't afford $99, I completely understand. I understand what people are going through at this moment. And there are 15 scholarships that are open. The only condition of that scholarship is that you share these transmissions with as many of your friends as possible, perhaps inviting people over a weekend to share them and discuss them and savor them and practice with them in ways that I hope and pray and actually know will ennoble your life. So please, at this moment, when we all face together so much, choose sublime love and let these transmissions of sublime love inspire the heaven out of you. Thank you with all my heart.